Hey humans, Jake Paul's new videos make me wish I was in that incredibly deliberate ATV crash. If you can find it in your heart to believe me, I actually started working on this video before the news about Jake and the looters came out, but I will talk about it in the end if the video isn't too long before then, so maybe stick around. Instead, we're going to be talking about how Jake has been uploading softcore porn to his army of preteen supporters, and why YouTube is turning a total blind eye to it. And so let's get into it. This first video is called Rated R, and for very good reason. Now before we do this, I would like to say that the video is age restricted, so good on YouTube for getting something right, I suppose. We open on Jake looking like he just left a trailer park orgy, dancing around and firing a pistol in the air, and he clearly knows how reckless this is because he has to put that stupid disclaimer at the bottom, like any of his brain-dead fans are going to notice. And I also think it's hilarious that he considers himself a trained professional when he's not even a high school graduate.
Carol Baskin killed her husband, packed him. Can't convince me that it didn't happen.
Names in the bowl. Loser gets tased by my new military police grade taser.
How many watts are in that thing?
JJ Watt, TJ Watt, bunch of watts.
Ah yeah, so we're following up the misuse of weapons with a sweet tasing my friend prank. And who the fuck are these guys? It's not like I'm an avid fan of Team 10, but this is a completely new gang of douchebags that I've never even heard of. And that just seems like a testament to what a nightmare my boy Jake is to be around.
Here we go. And the person who's getting tased.
That has got to be the fakest laugh I've ever heard in my entire life.
John.
What are you doing? I'm not doing this shit sober, bro.
Is that a fucking White Claw, you little fucking...
Not to poke plot holes in the time-space continuum over here, but Jake is talking an awful lot of shit about White Claw for someone who keeps it stocked in his house.
Ready? It's done. Oh my god. Go.
No, I thought he was gonna die.
Get him a drink, get him a...
Alright, so Jake just shot his, his good friend, right? And pretty much smack in the spine with a taser, and now he's got those things barbed into his back. I wonder how he plans to remove them safely and painlessly.
Get him a drink, get him a White Claw! I'm gonna pull it out in 3. It's not coming out.
Take it out! Take it out!
I don't know how!
Remember kids, these stunts are only performed by trained professionals.
3, 2, 1, let's go!
I'm gonna cut off this segment here, and I'll explain why. So the cut right after, he pretty much rips the other thing out of John's back, and it shows some blood running down his back. How the fuck does that not violate community guidelines? In the subsection describing graphic content, it explicitly states that videos showing bodily fluids like blood with the intent to shock or disgust viewers can't be on YouTube, and yet here we are. And it also says you can't show physical attacks, which kind of applies because he used a potentially deadly weapon on John. But, I mean, it was consensual or whatever, so I don't know if that totally counts.
And pause right there. Guys, we have some big news. So I partner with one of my favorite apps, Lords Mobile.
As usual, Jake's mind is only on the money here because over 25% of this video is an ad for Lords Mobile.
This one says Riley loves doggy style. Riley Reed, naked. Okay.
This one's my favorite.
What the fuck? This is Tristan Fernandez, my lovely rare Labrador. Very shy, but loves to cuddle. Oh, wow.
Bro, that epic gamer moment when you look at porn with the boys. It's a classic. I can't wait till quarantine ends.
So we're bored as fuck, so we decided to throw an impromptu pool party. And, the vibes are fucking lit, boys! Woo!
I hope you all have your seatbelts on because things have officially gotten lit. Wow, I've never encountered someone who is a trained professional in driving an ATV while intoxicated. Jake must be one of the first.
Yo, honestly, this is cool and all, but it's just a fucking sausage fest.
Yeah, man. Where are all the fucking bitches at?
Yeah, bro, I don't know what we're really doing. Julia, run!
Ow! Can I take this off?
Oh, we love that, baby!
Why are both your videographers have experience filming porn?
Alright, so this pretty much proves that Jake is scraping the absolute bottom of the barrel when it comes to associates. These guys have experience filming porn, and for some reason they're working for him. I imagine they're trying to get out of the porn bubble because, I don't know, maybe it doesn't pay well or something. It's not really any of my concern. And did you hear that groan that guy made when she mentioned it? Just, It's like he had it in his contract with Jake that he wouldn't mention that shit, but she just kind of blew up his spot.
I think you
Well, maybe because I've been
wanting to film our porno.
I can't show you any more of this video without being a hypocrite because I think that it shouldn't be on YouTube in the first place. It almost definitely violates the sexual content part of the terms of service, so I'll describe it with my words because I'm told I'm very good at that. Immediately after this shot, I forgot her name, we'll call her Boobs Woman. So Boobs Woman, she fondles her own ass for a while, you know, just making that shit jiggle real good for all the 9-year-olds out there. Just, you know, get their pee-pees real hard, I guess, is the objective. And then Jake has her take off her jean shorts to expose her ass. And she is wearing clothing under those shorts, so, you know, we're not going full nuclear meltdown over here, but he does say, "Oh, this one's for the boys. You can thank me later." Which is just absolutely a clear violation of YouTube's policy, which is directly stated against content that is intended for sexual gratification. And afterwards, we also see Jake's bare ass, and Boobs Woman licks it, licks the right cheek real good, so, you know, that made me gag real hard. So now we'll move on to the second video I wanted to look at today. I think it should be a little bit less sexual. I just have to look at the title here. Surprising friend with Riley Reid striptease. Surely there will be nothing overtly sexual about this.
We're here today because my editor John, who's also one of my best friends, is probably going to get deported from the United States within 10 days.
Oh shit, no, not Taser John. Really? Damn it, who's gonna drink all the White Claws you have stocked up in your house now, Jake?
But John's asleep right now, and I just wanted to cheer him up, you know. Pretty sad, he's been sad lately, and he just needs a little lifter-upper. Lifter-upper.
I can do that.
You could do that? Yeah. You can lift him up? Well, let's fucking send it. Welcome to Club Paul. You got coming, what was it, Riley?
You got cum on your balls? We empty them all.
I've been a citizen of the internet for nearly a decade and a half now, but that has got to be one of the grossest things I've ever heard in my life. As you might have expected, this is the part where I stop advancing the video because I don't want to have a channel strike given to me. As usual, I will describe this with my words, because I am a true artist like that. So she proceeds to give him a lap dance for like 2 or 3 minutes. The fire alarm goes off because, of course, they brought a smoke machine into the house like an idiot. Then Jake talks about how they all should have an orgy because they're so hot together. So, you know, your typical children's content. Okay, well that went over a little bit quicker than expected, so we've got time for Jake Paul's arrest. But real quick, I want to clarify my purpose in making this video. I'm not trying to say that no edgy content should be on the platform. I'm absolutely in favor of a little bit of the grimier stuff, but it just seems like YouTube is bending the knee and violating its own terms of service when it continues to allow creators to do things that are outside of its rules and they punish certain people for, but not everyone. It's just this really selective game of enforcement. It's almost like what Twitch is doing where they don't ban the female streamers. And my other issue is that Jake Paul is a children's entertainer. His whole channel is based around kids. His merch empire is primarily children based. So for him to be doing this, it seems especially scummy. So, you know, the 2 points, you know, the old 1-2 punch, YouTube is a scummy company and Jake Paul is a scummy person. You know, it's pretty basic at this point. Alright, and we've still got a little bit of time left to discuss Jake Paul getting charged with misdemeanor trespassing. He was in a Scottsdale mall while looting was happening and an unlawful assembly was declared by the police, and they were trying to get people out because, you know, looting, destruction, and whatnot. Jake says that he was merely documenting everything rather than partaking in the rioting that was occurring. But I think it's still important to charge him for this because obviously he's just there to try and capitalize off the views. If it was somebody else, I might be more inclined to believe them and say, hey, maybe they were just trying to document things that they saw and try and spread the awareness. But everyone's already aware and everyone's already upset who would be upset. It's not like people who haven't been swayed by the things that have happening over the last couple of weeks would be swayed by Jake Paul vlog. So I think it's just another example of one of the Pauls being super reckless in the content that they try to produce in order to gain notoriety and clout. And I think he probably deserves whatever sentence he gets. So, you know, thanks for being my little punching bag, Jakey, and I hope you get sent to jail.